Muy buenos días. Digo buenos días porque lo que tenemos la esperanza de Jehová, en la muerte tenemos la victoria. En esta mañana quisiera invitarle para que al inicio de esta ceremonia en conmemoración a la vida de lo que fue nuestra hermana Emma, podamos inclinar nuestro rostro para tener la oración. Eterno Dios y Padre que moras en los cielos, en esta hora de dolor, te invitamos a que tu presencia esté con nosotros. Que estés, Señor, con cada una de la familia, de los miembros de la familia de nuestra hermana Emma. Que tú le puedas dar, Señor, fortaleza, que le pueda dar firmeza, que le pueda dar seguridad de que muy pronto, cuando tú vengas en las nubes de los cielos, estaremos con ella para siempre. Gracias, oh Dios, porque en ti tenemos esperanza. En el nombre de Jesús. Amén, Señor. Amén.
Now, we are going to invite our brother Duani to direct us in the singing of the hymn Nos veremos junto al río. We see each other beside the river.
Nos veremos junto al río, cuyas aguas cristalinas fluyen puras argentinas desde el trono de nuestro Dios. Oh, si nos congregaremos en las riberas hermosas del río, cuyas aguas vivas demandan del trono de nuestro Dios. En las márgenes del río, donde los serafines van, donde hay bellos querubines, la dicha eterna, Dios. Oh, si nos congregaremos en la ribera hermosa del río, cuyas aguas vivas demandan el trono de nuestro Dios. Pronto al río llegaremos, nuestra peregrinación, terminando en los acentos de la célica canción. Oh, si nos congregaremos en la ribera hermosa del río, cuyas aguas manan del trono de nuestro Dios.
if there was something that Emma really enjoyed, was the Bible reading. The last time that I was beside her in the hospital and also at home was like endless Bible reading, because one after another she asked for something else. Another one, please. Don't leave me alone. Another one. Another song. Another Bible reading. And I really felt that she was feeding herself in preparation for departing this world, the world of the living, to rest until the second coming of Jesus. And she needed it. She enjoyed it. She was smiling. So really, she knew that her departure was something certainly, but she was not sad for that, because she was ready to meet with the Lord. And that is what we are going to do now in remembrance of her. So there is 3 Bible reading that is going to take place right now. So Steve Sander, Adrian John, and Tabitha Hodge, please come up.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. The first reading will be from John 14, verses 1 through 4. Don't let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God and trust also in me. There's more than enough room in my Father's home. If this were not so, would I have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you? When everything is ready, I will come and get you, so that you will always be with me where I am, and you know the way to where I'm going. I would also like to add that the presence of God could always be felt in her home. And the first thing I noticed when I went into her room was a prayer that she had on her wall, and I would like to read that off for you all today as well. It says, I said a prayer for you today, and I know God must have heard. I felt the answer in my heart, although he spoke no word. I didn't ask for wealth or fame. I knew you wouldn't mind. I asked him to send treasures of a far more lasting kind. I asked that he be near you at the start of each new day, to grant you health and blessings and friends to share your way. I asked for happiness for you in all things, great and small, but it was for his loving care I prayed the most of all.
Good morning, everyone. I will be reading from Psalms 90:12. So teach us to consider our morality so that we might live wisely. And that was one thing that I always loved about Tia Emma, was that she lived happily. She was always smiling, making jokes, making sure everyone was okay. Her laugh was one of my favorite things about her. She had that signature laugh, and it was infectious. And I felt that she truly embodied this verse by knowing that even though we may not be here forever, while you're here, enjoy your life to the best of your ability, make others happy, and just share that joy and happiness with everyone around you.
Good morning, guys. I'm going to be reading from Thessalonians, verses 14 to 17. For since we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so, though Jesus, God will bring him those who have fallen asleep. For this we declare to you by a word from the Lord, that we who are alive, who are left until the coming of the Lord, will precede those who have fallen asleep. For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a cry of command, with the voice of an archangel, and with the sound of the trumpet of God. And the dead in Christ will rise first. Then we who are alive, who are left, will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, so we will always be with the Lord. Tia was the best. She was awesome. We all loved her.
Thank you. Emma was a person that made happy the life of people around her. There was no a simple day that I went over there and I didn't see her laughing. More than smiling, laughing. Because really she enjoys her life. Let me tell this also in Spanish, so there is another group that barely can understand me. So decía que Emma fue una persona que hacía feliz a todos aquellos que iban a su casa. Yo no recuerdo un día que yo fuera allá que no solamente la viera sonreír, sino que la viera reírse a carcajadas, laughing. No, even less than 48 hours before she passed, I was there and she was laughing. Like that way. Recuerdo que la última vez que fui a verla, porque ella pidió que fueran a verla, y Mirta me llamó desde New York para que fuera a verla. Su corazón no tenía la potencia de latir para llevar oxígeno a su cerebro todo el tiempo, pero en el proceso de ir y regresar, cuando regresaba, siempre había una sonrisa en sus labios. I remember the last time I saw her, that was less than 48 hours before she passed. So the heart has not the power to take oxygen to the brain all the time. So she was coming and leaving, forward and back and forward. And we were talking. We had to wait until she come back, and she come back again, and then. But every time that she come back, Olivia was there. She was smiling. She was more than smiling. She was laughing. So because she was not afraid of departing this world, because she know in whom she had believed. So she was a person that was family bound, like little people in this world. Ella fue una persona que estaba muy apegada a su familia como pocas personas. Yo he visto pocas personas en este mundo que hable con todas las sobrinas, que hable con los hijos de los sobrinos, que les guste que los visiten. I have seen little people in this world that is calling all the family all the time, and she was calling, she was receiving calls, because sometimes the family is reduced to wives or husband and son and daughter. But no, for her family was everybody. And not only she liked it to talk to everybody, but also she tried to remember as much people as possible in every sphere of his life. But one person that really she liked it a lot was Olivia. She wanted to be sure that Berta bring Olivia to this church when Olivia was a little girl. I remember when Olivia came in, she barely could understand Spanish. But then she mastered the Spanish language. And also, she grew in relationship with more people in the church. So really, I think that if Emma could be alive right now, she was going to enjoy this part that is coming now. Olivia singing in the church. So Olivia, please come up.
I'm just going to be singing His Eyes on a Sparrow. But before that, I wanted to put a few words for Tia. Tia was very spicy. I liked her. her personality has definitely shaped the course of my life so far. And I think that that personality will never be forgotten. So I'm very glad to have met her in this lifetime, and I can't wait to see her later. So, yeah. Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Why does my heart feel lonely and over heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches over me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. 'Cause His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. 'Cause His eye is on the sparrow, and I know, and I know He watches me.
Another person that I'm sure to really had enjoyed being here, looking at Olivia, seeing this beautiful song was her grandma, Berta. I was talking to her yesterday, last night, in the evening. She was feeling not well. I assured her that I was going to be praying for her. So please remember Berta also in your prayer. Emma used to have a lot of friends. So there are 3 names that are here in the program that are going to reflect about the impact that Emma had in their life. The first of them, el primero de ellos, es Angel Sardui, is Angel Sardui, but instead of Angel, his daughter is going to talk in his behalf. So, Elizabeth va a hablar en lugar de su papá. The second one that was supposed to talk as a friend was a very, very close friend of her, because I know she was talking about him, he was talking about her. She used to come to here to Chilero and then go to Emma White to have lunch together, and because I know that they spend a lot of time in Vigía Church in Camagüey in Cuba. But Enriquito Marshall is not here today. At least I'm not seeing him. But I want to say you something. In the middle of our meeting on Thursday night, she mentioned something that was out of the line of the talking at that night. Because in the middle of the reading of the Bible and the singing of the songs, one after another, she mentioned, have you heard that Davidcito is already here? En el medio de la conversación el jueves en la noche, ella mencionó, sin son ni ton, ya sabes que Davidcito está por aquí. Y the people that was around him, around me and her, who is Davidcito? But I want to say you that Davidcito is here today. That is David Tejedor, Pacho. So I was explaining who Davidcito was. So David, ¿quisieras ocupar el lugar de Enriquito Marshall para testificar cómo Emma impactó tu vida? Entonces puedes venir. So I asked him if he wanted to take the place of Marshall, Enriquito Marshall, to come and talk about how Emma impacted his own life. So there are two more names, not three, two more. That is Mirta Biddle. Is Biddle? Is that the pronunciation? Okay, Mirta, please, can you come up? And another one is Shamala Hodge. Who is Shamala Hodge? Please, come out to the podium. So, Ángel Sarduy, please, puede ponerse de pie, por favor. Can you stand up so people know who you are? Ángel Sarduy was a friend, was a neighbor. So after Mirta, the another call that I received right away was Ángel Sarduy saying, oh, you know, Emma passed, so please call the family. Okay, I told him I'm already in touch with the family. So él siempre estuvo muy preocupado por Emma, le daba vueltas. He was very worried about Emma. He was, you know, visiting her, looking what was happening. So they was talking. Oh, Patrick, you also, right? You want to testify? Yes, you can. Si alguien no puede faltar aquí es Patrick, you know, because we're very close to Berta, very close to Berta's son, very close to Emma. So Patrick, I think that is the one that shouldn't be left out of this because was in really, he grew up under the Emma Charo.
Emma, la conocí en Nueva York en los lejanos 90, que a su casa, muy atenta a un grupo, nos invitó. Eran los Duani, Rubén y Efraín con sus familias, y yo, que en esa ocasión junto con ellos vivía, me sumé a la invitación. Allí conocí a Elenita, a Mirta y también a Berta, y a toda esta gente bella con alegría infinita. 3 días inolvidables, que jamás podré olvidar, con alegría sin par al ver gente tan amables. Emma, maestra eficiente, formando profesionales que hoy gozan por otros lares su enseñanza cabalmente. Al fin su retiro llega y a la Florida se mudó y una casa se compró en una comunidad nueva. Yo vivía en Pensilvania, también nos mudamos a la Florida, a 8 casas de la suya, y la amistad continuó. 16 años vecino, de su amistad disfruté, siendo su mano derecha, como siempre me decía. Me llamaba a cualquier hora y con gusto respondía. Junto con Pozo, Alberto y Jaime Cave, nos llamaba mis esclavos, pues siempre les respondía cuando nos necesitaba. Hace algún tiempo su salud empezó a desmejorar, aunque nunca abandonó su buen humor y virtud. Sin dejar de mencionar a un ángel que a su vida, a su vida llegó, Zenaida, tan paciente y entregada, día y noche de Emma cuidó. Llegó el día de su descanso, que Dios le tenía asignado, y junto a Janet y Berta, Rosa y Augusto cantamos, mientras ella en su letargo profundo dormía. Tempranito en la mañana del sábado, que tanto amó, exhaló su último aliento que al Creador devolvió. Emma, no te decimos adiós, pues pronto nos reuniremos junto al árbol de la vida, donde por siempre estaremos. Preparemos una excursión al espacio sideral. Iremos a otras galaxias con alegría sin par y conoceremos amigos. Les contaremos que Cristo, quien logró la redención, y luego regresaremos a nuestra eterna mansión, la Nueva Jerusalén. Y allí estaremos juntos, siempre por los siglos de la eternidad. Hasta mañana, Emma.
Son muchas las cosas que se podían decir de Emo hoy aquí. Y yo recuerdo en la escuela de iglesia, en la iglesia de la vigía, ella siempre con su entusiasmo, guiando a los jóvenes, a los más chiquitos, a los más grandes, y aquello no había bache, siempre era fuerte y fuerte. Cuando ella se fue de Cuba se sintió el vacío en la iglesia. Hoy en día me la topo aquí nuevamente y el gran entusiasmo como siempre, a pesar de sus años de edad. Hoy se nos va, queda un vacío en nuestros corazones, pero la bendita esperanza de que será llenado cuando Cristo venga.
Buenos días. Aunque yo hablo español, pero mi nombre es Mirta Beadle, y aunque yo hablo español, lo voy a leer en inglés. I thank God for the opportunity to be here and share with Ingma's family and friends. She was so good. And she brought so much to my life. God allows us to have different experiences that ultimately influence our lives. As a young person, in my eyes and in my heart, Ingma was fun, she was loving, she was strong, and she was independent. Unknowingly at that time, these were traits that I would admire for the rest of my life. She and my mom, Ruth Beetle Byrol, shared a special connection. They were confidants and best friends. They shared their blessings with one another, their life and experiences, loves, hurts, joys. They talked every single day. And they talked several times a day. I'm going to talk long, and you know why. Ingma and my mother, they taught me how to talk a lot. I couldn't figure out what they were all talking about. I would leave for work, they were talking. I would come back home from work, they were talking. And though Ingma was not related to me by blood, she was my tia Ingma. Her passing impacted my friends and family, and we were influenced by her. I want to just say these names out loud because I want all of the family to know that she had an extended family too, so I'll say this very quickly. Jackie, Marjorie, Jasmine, Lydia, Kathy, Sonia, and the list goes on. But I'm going to say a little story. For those of you who speak Spanish, My mom and Ingma were masters of cuentos. It's translated into English, cuentos are stories. And for those of us who know stories, we know that stories can be fiction, nonfiction, and somewhere in between. Well, you know what their stories were all about. Somewhere in between to fiction. When they were talking, they were supposedly catching up on the news. And the news was not the news on TV, but it was about your life, your life, your life, and everybody else's life. They laughed together. They cried together. They sang together. They cooked together. And most of all, they encouraged each other. From Ingma, I received fashion advice. She told me what looked good on me and what didn't. She gave me counsel about boyfriends. She was always in my business. But one of the things that we shared together was Cuban food. We were both from Camagüey. I'm almost finished. What's interesting is the things that we shared is what we talked about last in her life. I hadn't seen her since the start of COVID-19, but I had an overwhelming sense that I needed to see her. And unlike me, I'm a planner. I plan everything to the day, to the minute, to the hour. But I decided all of a sudden to come to Florida. But it was God. Literally the day before I came, Berta texted me and she said, Tia is in the hospital. Now, I haven't seen her in 3 years. I come down the day before she comes out of the hospital. I saw her the next day. But I tell you, for those of you who didn't see her before she passed, although she had dementia, her personality was intact. She looked me up and down and said, do you have a boyfriend? I told her I had two. We talked about Cuban food, and she made this face of anticipation. I tell her, arroz con frijoles, pata. And she would just smile with anticipation. Today, I just want to say thank you for those memories. My mom passed away. Ingma was the only person that could console me. She told me that my mom was ready to go and that I should accept it. She also told me that I needed to go back to church. And those were the seeds that I needed to start going back to church. So I say to Ingma's family, Janet, Isaiah, the girls, the kids, the grandkids, Berta, Shamal, Olivia, Rosa, and the kids, Mirta, Patrick, Alberto, Zenaida, and the rest of the family who's here. I want to share a Bible reading with you. And it was interesting, Steve, I actually had the same poem in my house, the same prayer. But here's the text. When times get hard and the path gets weary, read Psalm 121. This is the New International Version, and it says, I lift up mine eyes to the mountains. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at night, at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from harm, and he will watch over you like Ingma did. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. My prayers are with each of you. today and always. I love you all. And God bless Ingma. Amen.
Emma, or who we know as Tia, was not only vibrant but sassy, educated, and compassionate. I have memories of going to her school where she taught in Brooklyn and just watching her thrive, impacting everyone she encountered in some way. It seemed as if she was friends with everyone from the teachers to the janitors. I remember her saying that they would clean the snow off her car and start her car for her when it was cold, and I think it's because she was so loved. She was a social butterfly, but what I would call a chatterbox. Always, and I mean always talking. On the phone, in person, just always talking. She has been such a source of strength for years, so strong that I never realized how old she was until recently. Every Sabbath, Tia was at church. When COVID hit, things changed. Church became unsafe, visitors became unsafe, and home became her safe zone. And as a social person, this was very difficult. So I thank God for Sonaida for taking care of her, because she took care of her and she became her companion. Violetta spent Saturdays with her. Rosa and Poso checked in on her, and just those that kept up with her, because if you know Tia, you know that she thrived off of these interactions with other people, like just how a plant needs water. Tia needed this. I think this year, at some point, my family, we started to spend Saturdays. We started to spend Saturdays with her, and I know that it meant so much to her because she missed that. She was the type of person that had people in her house, and when I mean people, I mean 30, 40, 50 people in her house. So to go from that and not have that anymore was so difficult for her. The first Saturday we did it, we all went over there and we ate with her, and then the next Friday she was asking, what time is it tomorrow? What time is everyone coming? So we tried to make that a recurrent thing. And again, I'm so grateful for those who did keep in contact with her and those who did reach out to her, because she needed that. So when we found out that she was passing, we were able to spend that time with her. And even though she knew she was going, she was still herself. She was still laughing. She was still making jokes. She was still telling me that I was fresh because my shorts were too short. And I think it was maybe the day before she passed, and this is just going to live with me forever. The day before she passed, I remember Janet telling me she wasn't doing too good. She was just really tired and she was not doing too good. So we went over there with the baby. And I went and I took the baby to her, and she looked at the baby, and it's like she just perked up. She woke up. She was blowing kisses at the baby. The baby was touching her face. And this is something that's going to be in my heart forever, because I know that it meant so much to her. And it meant so much to me. When Tia was the last person in my family who calls me Sha or Shasha. Everybody else calls me Marlo or whatever. And it's something that I heard so many times, and I never appreciated it until now, because I can no longer hear it. Some of my family and I were fortunate enough to spend the last days with her. And as hard as it was to watch, I'm extremely grateful, because to the end, she was herself. She sang and she made jokes. I told her, I think it was the day before, that I loved her. And she said, I love you too. And she blew me kisses. And she said, I love all you guys. And I think that was just for all my cousins, all my family. She knew we loved her. And she wanted us to know that she loved us back. The fact that she said, I love all you guys, it just meant so much to me. Days before her passing, she was just calling for random people that were no longer here. And that's how we knew that she was really going. She called for you, Patrick. She called for you. She called for Janet before Janet even got here. She was saying Janet was at the window. And she just knew her family, and she knew we loved her. And I'm as hard as it was to watch her go, I'm so grateful that I got to have that with her. And I'm so grateful that she was able to express her love for us and that we were able to express our love for her. My family has experienced a lot of loss these last few years. And I know that our sweet Tia right now, she is with the rest of our loved ones, and she is looking down on us, and she is smiling, and she is laughing, her infectious laugh, like my cousin Adrian said. And I want to once again thank everyone who kept in contact with her, because she needed that.
Good morning, family. I have a few words I wanted to share in regards to my experience growing up with Engma, but beforehand, I just want to preface with just a short Bible verse that ties into it. It's going to be 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. Love is patient, love is kind. It is not envy, it is not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And the reason why I chose that is because it pertains to unconditional love. And the love that Engma had for me was truly unconditional. My mother passed in 2016. She immediately stepped in, became my caretaker, my confidant, my biggest supporter, without even missing a beat. And that's something I will forever appreciate. She was really a phenomenal woman. Her influence, her impact, and the lessons she bestowed upon me have really shaped my being in a manner that, words can't even begin to describe. Truly an irreplaceable woman, and, no relationship is perfect, of course. We had our ups and our downs, our good and our bad. But one thing I can say with confidence is that the love she had for me remained intact throughout all of that. Lastly, I just want to wrap up by saying that, once again, she was a phenomenal woman, one of a kind, truly irreplaceable, and I'm truly honored to have had the privilege of being her nephew during her time on this earth.
It's no surprise for any one of us what we are hearing right now here in the church, right? Remember, I saw a number that I didn't know. Really, I barely take number that I don't know, because there are a lot of companies outside trying to sell or to buy or whatever, or trying to scam you. But I said, let me take this call, and it was Mirta. And Mirta told me, Emma wants to see you. She's in the hospital. Can you go over there? I said, sure. I'm out of town, but as soon as I come, I will go there. So the next day, I went to see Emma. I find out that Berta and Zenaida were right there in the bedside. I really expected that Emma was going to tell me, Pastor, I'm happy that you are here. I wanted to see you. But instead of that, the first phrase that came out of the Emma mouth was, you are too fat. I replied, Emma, I'm chunky. So she was laughing like in the middle of a party. That was Emma. Really, I learned to love her. I call her my girlfriend. I told her, remember, you are my girlfriend, but don't tell my wife, because you will put me in trouble. You are going to I'm going to have trouble with that. And she was smiling all the time. So my wife used to tell her the only woman that I allow to call my husband, boyfriend is you. So I remember her sitting over there where Sister Skyer is seated right there. I remember Emma sentada allí al lado de Miriam, donde está Miriam, y riéndose siempre. So because there are too many people that were impacted for her life, I'm going to be a little bit out of the program to include 3 more testimony. Also, there is a video that was prepared for the family. And then we are going to have the biography, the bio reading. So everybody can remember again all of those special moments in the life of Emma. So among many people that were impacted for Emma's life, there are 2 of them that are here today. I don't know if they want to talk, but Jose Jimenez, please, can you stand up? ¿Puede pararte, por favor? I don't know if the family know him, but he was a son for Emma in Vigía, Camagüey. And also when they came here, they keep that relationship. Pepito, ¿quisieras hablar? Okay, I understand. Otro de los que Emma llamó sus esclavos, another one that Emma mentioned her slave, was Pozo. Can you stand up, please? ¿Puedes pararte, por favor? Pozo, tú eres ciudadano americano, debías hablar inglés, ¿no? Pero a ti no te voy a mandar a hablar. Voy a mandar a hablar a tu esposa. Por favor, Rosa, ¿pudieras venir? Ven, ven. En los últimos años, Rosa y Pozo eran los que llevaban a Emma la mayoría de las veces a hacer sus compras. In the last year of Emma's life, Rosa and Pozo were the ones taking her to buy groceries, to go around, to go to the park. And really, this relationship grew up. So she always, when talking to me, was mentioning them. So I would like for them, if they want to use the time in 1 minute to express how Emma impacted their life. ¿Pudieran en 1 minuto decir cómo Emma impactó sus vidas? Estoy diciendo que ella siempre lo mencionaba porque en los últimos años ustedes la que la llevaban a la tienda a comprar y hasta salir a pasear.
Bueno, yo doy gracias a Dios porque desde que yo llegué de Cuba aquí a este país, la persona que estuvo cerca de mi esposo y de mí fue Mahuay. Y esa semana que yo llegué, ella preparó una fiesta. Y en esa fiesta hubieron muchos regalos que ella le habló a distintas personas. Y entonces celebramos mi llegada en ese momento. Y no, primera vez que la conozco.
The friendship grew up because when they came here to the U.S., they didn't know each other. But then Emma took this new problem as her problem. You know, when people come from another country with nothing in the pocket, so that is a problem. So Emma organized a party. So asked the people coming to the party to bring gift to the newcomer. So that was impacting for them, and that was how this friendship started and grew up.
Y de ahí en adelante, eso fue una bendición para mí y para mi familia. Todo el tiempo venía ella y Elenita, nos visitaban, iban a nuestra casa, nosotros íbamos a la de ella, salíamos a comer juntos. disfrutábamos juntos. Y la verdad es que de Emma White yo tengo un gran recuerdo de ella mientras yo viva. Por eso agradezco a Dios verla puesto en mi camino.
Rose is very thankful to God for putting Emma in her path, because after that first encounter, they started visiting each other. Emma used to go to her house. They used to go to Emma's house. And in the last year, really, Emma was not driving, so we're there going to Emma's house and taking care of every aspect of her life, whatever need she has it. So Rosa is very thankful for putting Emma as a friend, as a guide, as something really to follow up.
Muy bien, yo estoy muy agradecido a Dios porque dejé mi familia en Cuba y vine para acá, y cuando llegué aquí, Emma fue mi hermana. Nos quisimos tanto, y la verdad que no tengo palabras que agradecerle a Dios que yo conocí a Emma en mi juventud. Gracias le doy a Dios porque mi esposa y yo unimos esa confraternidad y ese cariño y ese amor hasta que Dios la llamó. Amén. Nos vamos a salvar. Yo pienso que Emma se va a salvar. Esta es mi opinión. ¿Sí? ¿Pudiéramos decir? Ok. Muchas gracias.
He said that when he left Cuba, he left the family behind. It's not easy to leave everybody behind. But when he came in, she found out a new sister in Emma. So he's very thankful for that sister that God put in his path. So another person that was really impacted for Emma, and Emma didn't want to let her go a single moment, it was Zenaida. Where is Zenaida? Zenaida, ¿quieres hablar? ¿Quieres decir algo? No, it's okay. Thank you. I remember Emma saying, Zenaida, where are you going? Zenaida, Emma, I need to go to the house to take a shower. Oh, Zenaida, no, tú no me puedes dejar sola. No, Zenaida, you can leave. You can leave me alone. So it was not easy. They really enjoy a very good relationship at the end. So Pastor Ortega, the pastor of the church, have something also that another pastor wants to say in this moment. Ya las dijo, me permite decir. Come in front, please. Come in front. Ven. She said, do you allow me to say 2 words? And I told her, you already did it. Déjame decir, let me tell you something.
Yo vengo en representación de la primera escuela, o no sé si era su primera escuela, pero fue la primera maestra de la escuela de Manatí. Ella, para allá para los años 58, se inauguró la iglesia de Manatí, se le hizo una escuela.
She's coming in representation of the first school where Emma was a teacher. I didn't know that she was living at that time, to not say to all.
Yo fui alumna de ella se hizo la escuela, se hizo un cuarto para la maestra y almorzaba y comía en mi casa.
Late in the 50s, the Manatee Church was started, and then the school. So in the school, there was a room where Emma, the teacher, used to live, and then she went to to eat every day to her house, one of the first student of Emma.
Entonces, nosotros tenemos un grato recuerdo. Somos 5 hermanos. En Manatí, todos los alumnos siempre la recordaron con cariño. Y mis padres, que ya murieron hace muchos años, la recordaron con cariño. Mi hermano y yo estuvimos en su despedida para acá, en Camagüey. Mi mamá nos mandó solito, yo tenía 13 años, mi hermano 11. Mucho dolor, porque nosotros la queríamos mucho. Mi hermano vive aquí en Orlando, pero no puede estar aquí porque está trabajando.
They are 5 siblings, Emma students. So they were impacted for Emma life as a teacher. And also when Emma left Cuba, they went to come away to say goodbye. And it was a heartbreaking moment. But I think that the problem was solved when also she came here to the US, right? El problema se resolvió cuando viniste tú también.
Ok, gracias a Dios. Y entonces, Emma era la alegría de nuestra casa. Cuando ella llegaba por la puerta, todo el mundo se tenía que reír.
Emma was, I don't know to say, the happiness of the house. When she entered the house, everybody has to laugh.
Agradezco a Dios haberla tenido en mi vida, haber sido mi maestra y los momentos felices que pasaron. También me llevó en vacaciones a Camagüey y las pasé allí en su casa con sus sobrinas también.
She remembered that Emma not only used to go to eat to her house, but also take her to Camagüey to enjoy vacation time with the family, with the niece over there.
Que esperamos verla cuando Cristo venga, que el Señor nos ayude a nosotros a estar preparados para esto.
We hope, we have a hope that we are going to see her when Jesus comes. But we have to be prepared in order to can see her in the second coming of Jesus. Thank you.
In my mind, I have a woman always smiling. She marked my life and that of many. And our church, I'm making one effort to make the transmission in Facebook and YouTube. If you go to Facebook and YouTube and you put Chiller SDA, it's possible check the transmission. And I have a couple people putting any comments in the transmission. And for example, I have Sandra Bradshaw. Condolence to the entire family of Tia. We love you, Tia, and we'll always remember your laughter and your sweet humor. Sandra and family. And Gloria Rodríguez dice, bendiciones y mucha fortaleza a toda la familia. Dios le bendiga a todos. Mi esposa dice, siempre estarás en mi corazón, mi reina. Te amamos mucho, te voy a extrañar mucho, sobre todo en la peluquería y en nuestros FaceTime con mi esposo, poniéndolo colorado. Hasta pronto, guerrera. Así que estos son algunos de los comentarios. Y hay un comentario muy especial de alguien que la apreciaba mucho y es el pastor Omar Grieve. Pastor Omar Grieve es el director de La Voz de la Esperanza y él ahora está en Europa. Yo le mandé a él un mensaje y le dije, pastor, sé que amabas mucho a Emma, ella falleció. Si quieres poner algún comentario, lo puedes hacer. Y él a las 2:30 de la madrugada, él mandó esta condolencia a la familia. Así que vamos a pedirle al equipo de audio que ponga las palabras del director de La Voz de la Esperanza, Omar Grieve.
día que mando este mensaje, me encuentro en otro continente, en la República de Hungría, y me siento muy triste porque Emma era para mí, además de una tía, porque así yo la llamaba, además de ser la mejor amiga de mi madre, porque cada vez que nosotros nos hablábamos con mami, ella mencionaba algo de Emma. Fue una mujer íntegra, una mujer que de verdad tenía el Espíritu de Cristo en su corazón. Los que no me conocen, yo soy el hijo de Nila Grieve, Omar Grieve, el pastor Omar Grieve, director de La Voz de la Esperanza. Y es para mí, con este profundo sentir, decirles a ustedes de que muy pronto la veremos, porque ella ya fue sellada. Y cuando allá suene la trompeta en el día final, se levantará Emma y mi madre y mi padre y todos los que representamos en el Señor. Y lo primero que preguntará mi madre, yo sé que sí. Además, ¿dónde está mi hijo? Preguntará, ¿y Emma? ¿Qué de ella? Muy pronto te veremos, la veremos. En este momento es nuestro sincero deseo y oración que Dios esté con ustedes. Los queremos mucho.
Now is the time to put the video that the family prepared for the life of Emma, please.
I believe the word of God advocates using wisdom, but all Tremendamente. I am thankful for my family.
Before Janet read the biography of Emma, I would like to ask my brother Johnson to go to the piano to sing a song that she really enjoyed. It was a song that I sang with her 2 times, in the hospital and at home. And the name of the song is Perdido fui a mi Jesús. In the cross. Es el número 285 en el lineario viejo. En el nuevo habría que buscarlo en Google. Vamos a esperar que lo ponga. Lo vamos a cantar yo lo voy a dirigir. Lo vamos a cantar en español, es como sé cantarlo, pero ustedes se pueden. We are going to sing that song in Spanish, but you can join us in English, because it's very, very well sung. And more than in the music, I would like you to fix the message that is in this song. It's the message that brings hope to us. Nobody's perfect in this world. But when we come to Jesus, then we find out the purpose of our life. So, perdido fui a mi Jesús. Perdido fui a mi Jesús, Él vio mi condición, en mi alma derramó su luz, su amor me dio perdón. Fue primero en la cruz donde yo vi la luz, y mi carga de pecado dejé. Fue allí por fe vi a Jesús, y siempre con él feliz seré. En cruz cruel mi Salvador su sangre derramó, por este pobre pecador, a quien así salvó. Fue primero en la cruz donde yo vi la luz, y mi carga de pecado dejé. Fue allí por fe vi a Jesús, y siempre con él feliz seré. Venció la muerte, qué poder, y el Padre le exaltó. Al trono allá a interceder por tales cual soy yo. Fue primero en la cruz donde yo vi la luz, y mi carga de pecado dejé. Fue allí por fe vi a Jesús, y siempre con él feliz seré. My brother and sister, I can't forget the moment when Emma started singing this song with me. There was something in her eyes that reflect the hope of the heart. Do you remember, my brother? You was there, right? When we were singing this song in the house. There was no strength in the body, but just in the mind. So you could see the faith and the hope when she was singing. And that is the assurance that her relationship with God was in good standing. And it's not for her merit, but for the merit of Jesus. The blood of Jesus in the cross, not only Emma, but everybody here can have the assurance of salvation if we put our life in the hand of Jesus. So having this in mind, we are going to ask Janet that please come to read this bio that reflect a life lived wisely.
Ingma Aurelia White Hendrickson was born on December 11, 1933 in Camagüey, Cuba, to her parents Ellen Wilkins Harris and Aaron White. Ingma was the youngest of 7 girls and 1 boy. Being the baby of the family meant that Ingma was very spoiled, and she totally enjoyed that. Ingma's older sisters told the story of how a very young Ingma would be fed breakfast at home every morning, but then she would go to all the neighbors to get the breakfast that they would save for her each day. This began a lifetime of loving to be around people and being the life of the party. When Enid, the oldest daughter, converted to Seventh-day Adventism, the rest of the family slowly joined the church, including Emma. She became an active member of Iglesia de la Vieja SDA Church in Camagüey, where she was the first youth leader for the church and planned wonderful programs for the church. Emma had a beautiful alto voice and sang in many groups and choirs. Emma went to El Colegio, thank you, de las Antillas, where she studied education and studied her lifelong career as a teacher. She was a teacher and principal for the church schools in central Manatee and Alabasia, Camagüey. When the Cuban Revolution began, Manatee was one of the areas that was hard hit by the revolutionary fighters. The fighting was so bad there that Ingma often had to protect her students by shielding them with her body or taking them to a neighbor's cellar to keep them safe from flying bullets. With angels protecting them, not one student was hurt under her care. 3 of the sisters left Cuba and migrated to New York City before the Cuban Revolution began. These sisters worked together to get the rest of the family, including Emma, out of Cuba and brought them to New York in 1968 in a miraculous way. She met her husband, Jaime Hendrickson, here and married him in 1972. Ingma became a member of the Bay Ridge SDA Church and again lent her talents in singing, teaching, Sabbath school, and planning beautiful programs. She continued her education in the U.S. by attending Adelphi College and earned her bachelor's and master's degree in education. Ingma worked at several Adventist church schools in the New York area, including Hanson Place SDA, Gold Street, and Westchester area schools. In the 1990s, she started teaching in the New York public school system and worked as the bilingual educator for PS 224 until she retired. Ingma loved people and especially children. As an educator, she had the privilege of teaching hundreds of children, including her nieces and nephews, from grades 1 through 8. In 2002, she retired from her lifelong passion of teaching and moved to Orlando, Florida, where she purchased her home. She was known for hosting parties, get-togethers, and Christmas holidays in her home, and it was not uncommon for her to have as many as 50 people under her roof. She was the life of the party, and she was happiest when she was around her loved ones and friends. Ingma was known for 3 great dishes: arroz con pollo, dumplings, and her amazing meatballs, along with her sorrel. Her family, especially Olivia, looked forward to these dishes when they visited her, and they looked forward to being able to take some home with them. Ingma became a member of the Sheila Oaks Seventh-day Adventist Church and spent most of her time there, never missing a Sabbath service or special program. Emma loved her scriptures, mangoes, bananas, and her special sodas and hot drinks. At night, she loved socializing and singing tunes around her house that she loved, and often said, "God gave this house to me." She loved to look beautiful and went to the hairdresser at least 2 times a month to get her hair and nails done to always look her best. Although she had no children of her own, she had a plethora of nieces, nephews, grandnieces, grandnephews who loved her dearly and did their best to care for her as she aged. Emma's health started to worsen earlier this year, and after 2 back-to-back hospitalizations, she took her last breath at home, surrounded by her family. We thank God for the life of our aunt and friend, her fierce love for us, an example of what God can do with your life when you let him lead you. We are grateful for her smile, her laughter, her wit, and common sense that never wavered even when she was ill. We will miss her and look forward to reuniting with her and the rest of our family in heaven. She was preceded in death by her mother and father, Ellen Harris and Aaron White, as well as her sisters, Celia Harris, Iselina Harris, Caridad Ford, daughters Crow, Enid Shelton, Maria Falone, her niece, Olga Ferguson, her brother, Telly Lawrence, her niece, Elena Ford, and her nephew, Ian Hodge. And she leaves to mourn all of her nieces and nephews, great-nieces, great-nephews, and their names are listed there. Emma had numerous cousins and, of course, many, many friends that will treasure her memory always. Rest now, Aunt Amy. We will see you soon in the earth made new. We love you now and always. And I'm going to ask the booth if they could play the song for Zion and Zaya. My grandchildren are going to come up at this point to sing a song for her.
May your struggle keep you near the cross, and may your troubles show that you need God, and may your battles end the way they should, and may your bad days prove that God is good, and may your whole life prove that God is good. May your struggles keep you near the cross, and may your battles show that you need God, and may your bad days end the way they should, and may your whole life prove that God is good, and may your bad days end that God is good. May your struggles keep you near the cross, and may your troubles show that you need God, and may your battles end the way they should, and may your bad days prove that God is good, and may your whole life prove that God is good. Whole life prove that God is good. May your whole life prove that God is good.
Very well done. Congratulations. Really, it's very good to see when our children sing to God. Praise the name of the Lord. I don't know how many of you know that in January I was also passing for the valley of shadow and death. So nobody was guaranteeing my life. I was with COVID pneumonia, and both of my lungs was fully covered. So at the point that they told me there is nothing else that we can do for you. So the question was normal, what is next? So the physician told me, I don't know. Rest to see what happened. In other words, try to rest to see if you don't rest in peace. So that is the moment when we reflect really hard. Something is to be in a funeral ceremony for another person, and something else when is your turn. But nobody can assure you that if you close your eyes, you are going to open it again. Una cosa es estar en el funeral de otra persona y otra cosa es ver el suyo venir. Cuando nadie le garantiza que el día que cierre los ojos, en el momento que cierre los ojos, lo vas a volver a abrir. And really what matters at that moment is God. Not even the family matter. Because you don't want to take them, the family, with you. And either way, they don't want to go with you. Lo más importante en ese momento es Dios, porque ni usted se quiere llevar la familia, ni la familia se quiere ir con usted. So en ese momento, try to put the house in order. And let's see what God is going to do in your life. So thinking about Emma, thinking about the family, thinking about my own experience, I pray, I said, God, show me what I have to talk to about it this morning. So came to my mind the Psalm number 116. Vino a mi mente el Salmo 116 pensando en esta experiencia, la experiencia de Emma, de la familia y mi propia experiencia. ¿Por qué el Salmo 116? Why Psalms 116? When you read the Psalm, you find out that the purpose of Psalm 16 is praising the Lord for recovering from death. El propósito de este salmo es agradecer a Dios por regresarme de la muerte. But there is something that you find out later. That is the reality of every living mankind in this world. So, como los salmos siempre hacen, la introducción de cada salmo siempre parece ser la misma: alabar a Dios por las misericordias que son nuevas cada mañana. So, as every psalm, I think that most of them start praising the Lord for the marvelous mercy that are delivered to us every morning. I love the Lord for He heard my voice. He heard my cry from mercy. Because He tuned His ear to me, I will call Him as long as I live. Yo amo al Señor porque Él escucha mi voz suplicante, por cuanto Él inclina a mí su oído, lo invocaré toda mi vida. I want to bring that thought to my life, because that was the reality when I was dead in the bed, when nobody was guaranteeing anything to me. I promised to the Lord. If you want to take me with you, okay, it's okay. But if you want, please, let me live a little more. I'm going to praise your name every time of my life. Yo voy a celebrar tu nombre, a gloriarme en tu nombre cada momento de mi vida. Si me llevas, ok, pero si no, te agradezco si me dejas un poquito más, ¿verdad? Claro, mi esposa se lo merecía, ¿no? My wife was waiting for a little more time. You know, she tried to be a beauty every time. She is doing everything possible, Sometimes I said, this food is good. And she said, no, I can't lose my figure. No, I want to be pretty for you. So really, she suffered trying to be a beauty. Really, I'm thankful to God for that, right? You can see her. Can you stand up, please? ¿Puedes pararte? I'm not lying to you. She's a beauty, right? At least comparing with me, But it is time to reflect. I came to this country, as many of you, with a dream. And the dream was to give to my family a better life. But when you have that dream, sometimes you forget what is more important, the family. Because trying to give to your family a better life, you work and work and work without realizing that the time that is left never come back. So sometimes I realized that I didn't have not even the time to spend a Sunday in the beach with my family, living close to the beach, less than 3 miles away from Fort Lauderdale, Las Olas, the famous beach in the east of Florida, southeast of Florida. But when the time comes, you can take nothing with you. There is nothing that you can accumulate in this world that you can't, that you can take with you. It's only you, God, and the family. So for that reason, I want you to sing a little bit. No matter what you do in this world, your time is going to come. Les animo a reflexionar, porque no importa lo que hagas en este mundo, no importa que dejes de comer, no importa que quieras estar bonito, tu tiempo va a llegar y vas a estar ahí en un casket. So, ¿qué es importante? Verse 3 said, the cord of death entangled me. The anguish of the grave came upon me. I was overcome by trouble and sorrow. Then I called on the name of the Lord. Oh Lord, save me. That was like a yelling from the bottom of the heart. Oh God, save me. That is something that nobody has to hear. It's only you from the bottom of your heart. There is a yelling in the silence. A desire that comes from the profound of the heart. Emma was smiling, but also you can read in her eyes that there is something that everybody is afraid of, to go to the unknown, the great unknown. Like some people put it in the song, the great unknown. It's that moment when the hope matters, when Jesus matters, when the blood spilled in the cross matters. Because it's not about you, it's about Jesus. It's not about your merit, it's about the merit of Jesus. It's not about what can I do, but what Jesus do. That you surrender your life. When your time comes and you can't avoid it, you have the assurance to be with God and the assurance to open it again, the eyes, to see Jesus, to see the family, and to live forever in a world without pain and without death. Are you ready to surrender your life to Jesus? The Lord protect the simple-hearted. When I was in great need, He saved me. And that is the reality. I'm more than sure that many times in your life and in the life of Emma, your life has been in peril. And once again, God came and took you from the valley of shadow and gives you a new opportunity. I remember at least 3 times that God gave me a new opportunity. One was when I was a child. I put my foot over a wire, electricity wire, so the wire catch me and then throw me far away, and that throw of the electricity was what saved my life. Another time I was swimming in a canal that came from a very big water reservoir, but the gate were opened and I didn't know, so the water stuck me in the border of the bridge. I tried to get out the water, I couldn't, so the water put me under the bridge. And then in my desperation, I prayed to God, oh God, if you give me another opportunity. Couldn't do anything else. I let the current take me wherever the current went. So I saw the light over the water. I swim up. Then it starts throwing up everything that was in my stomach. But I survived that experience. And another experience was here in the hospital, Altamont, with the COVID pneumonia. So I think that many of you can talk about and praise the Lord for the marvelous thing that the Lord has made for you. Cada persona, yo pienso que puede expresar cómo Dios le ha librado de la muerte en algún momento de la vida. Y eso es lo que el salmista está haciendo. Agradeciendo a Dios por haberle salvado. For you, O Lord, have delivered my soul from death. Now he's talking about something else. Una cosa es que Dios te salve tu cuerpo físicamente, y otra cosa es que Dios salve tu vida, porque este cuerpo no va a ninguna parte. Este cuerpo mortal se queda acá. Something is that God saves your body physically, saves you physically, and something else is that God saves your soul. We know that the soul and the body is work together. But when the psalmist is talking here about soul, is talking something else of the body, because this body that we have right now, with illness, with itches, with, in my case, a little fat, a little fat. But really, I don't like it. I would like to be like my wife, that she have that strength of willingness to suffer hungry, to be hungry in order to be that way. But this body go to no place. But what the psalmist is telling us right now is that the Lord, more than the body, is going to save your soul. So he's promising not only to save you, but to give you a new body, and that is the new body that we are expecting to see in Emma. The same character, the same happiness. But no, I would like to see Emma like she was when she was a teacher down there in Manatee, when she was in the 20s, not when she was in the 90s, late 80s or in the 90s, because when you are in late 80s and the 90s, then your mobility starts coming down. So you want to go around and you can't. and then there is pain in your body, and then you want to go to the beach, but you can't swim anymore, and then you start seeing like your life is going, is reducing all the wanted that you want for your lives. So that is not the life that we want for Emma. We want for Emma a life, the life that Jesus has promised. He's going to save her. He saved her already, and He's preparing a place to take her to live with a body without pain and without death. I can't wait to see Emma meeting again with her family, with her lover, with her friend. What the meeting is going to be. I want to be there, but in order to be there, I have to prepare myself right now to be with Jesus. Also, we need to be thankful. And thankfulness has to be expressed with actions. It's not only words. In this case, the psalmist said, how can I repay the Lord for all His goodness to me? I will lift up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. Will fulfill my vows to the Lord in the presence of all my people. But after promising that is going to fulfill all the promise with offering to God, there is something sad in the psalm. Remember, that is the psalm of somebody that was delivered from death. But now he said, precious is in the sight of the Lord. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of His saint. In other words, you can be delivered from death 1, 2, 3 many times, but your time is going to come. I can assure you that you can't escape death in this world. Te puedo asegurar que no importa lo que hagas, no te vas a escapar de la muerte. Después de haber hablado tanto y alabado al Señor por haberlo librado de la muerte, el salmista dice, pero preciosa es a los ojos de Jehová la muerte de sus santos. En otras palabras, tienes que prepararte porque de aquí no te escapas, a menos que Cristo venga pronto. And is in this thinking that for me, Revelation have a very special message. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth has passed away, and there was no longer any sea, and I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, now the dwelling of God is with men, and He will live with them. They will be His people, and God Himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain. For the old order of things has passed away. Then the angel showed me the river of the water of life, as clear as a crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb, down to the middle of the great street of the city. On each side of the river stood the tree of life, bearing 12 crops of fruit, yielding its fruit every month, and the leaf of the tree are for the healing of the nation. What marvelous place is God preparing for us. reading about it, I found out a scripture that said something like this: the angel, your personal angel, walk with you through the valley of shadow and death. So when you pass, the angel mark the place where your body rests. And in the second coming, the angel is going to come back and will be the first to greet you to the new life. Un pensamiento que encontré y me gustó mucho es que tu ángel camina contigo a través del valle de sombra y de muerte. Y cuando tú descansas, Él marca el lugar. Y cuando Cristo venga, será el primero en llegar. Será la primera cara que tú veas, ahora sí lo vas a poder ver, para darte la bienvenida al nuevo mundo que Dios ha preparado para ti. But that is not for everybody. That is the bad news. That is not for everybody. That is for the people that be part of the first resurrection. That is for the people that made Jesus the Lord of their life. Eso no es para todo el mundo, es para los que entreguen su vida al Señor y hagan al Señor el Señor de su vida, los que tienen parte en la primera resurrección. Por eso es tan importante. For that reason it's so important that we stop sinning, that we stop living our life in our way and look for the way of Jesus, that we surrender our life to Jesus so we can say like Emma, I know in who I have believed. That we can sing like Emma used to sing, knowing that his life was hiding in Jesus. For that reason, she could sing. She could be happy. You know, that is amazing happiness because she knew that she was leaving the world, and she knew it. But sure, I can assure you that. But she also knew that was something else prepared for her, and that was the new heaven and the new earth that God was preparing. But she used to be a person of people. She wanted you and me to be there, to enjoy together eternity. Are you ready to accept the calling of Jesus today? Let me explain a little bit. Calling is not going away. Calling is accepting Jesus in your heart and letting Jesus do for you what you can't do for yourself. Because sometimes when you say the calling of Jesus, people think that you are going to die. No, it's not about that. It's about surrender our heart to Jesus. Are you ready? I hope so, because that is the only way that you can escape this world and death and pain, having Jesus as the Lord of our life. God bless you, que Dios te bendiga y que tu entrega a Jesús te garantice desde ahora no solamente una vida mejor aquí, sino también la vida eterna. That being with Jesus not only guarantees you a better life here, but also a better life to come. God bless you, and be ready to be with Jesus and with Emma in the second coming. Now there is a song that has been prepared, right? That is a song that everybody is going to have part of. Cuando suene la trompeta, número 16 en el nuevo himnario.
Cuando suene la trompeta en el día del Señor, su esplendor y eterna claridad veré. Cuando lleguen los salvados ante el Padre Celestial y se pase lista, yo responderé. Cuando allá se pase lista, cuando allá se pase lista, cuando allá se pase lista. Y mi nombre llamen, yo responderé. Resucitarán gloriosos los que duermen en Jesús, las delicias celestiales a gozar, y entrarán en las mansiones de la luz. Para mí también habrá un dulce hogar, cuando allá ya se pase lista, cuando allá se pase lista, cuando allá se pase lista. Y mi nombre llamen, yo responderé. Trabajemos pues por Cristo, pregonando su amor, mientras dure nuestra vida terrenal. Y al fin de la jornada, con los santos del Señor, entraremos en la patria celestial. Cuando allá se pase lista, cuando allá se pase lista, cuando allá ya se pase lista, y mi nombre llamen, yo responderé.
Please, can you stand up to have the final prayer? Heavenly Father, we thank you because we have felt your presence in this life celebration. We are thankful because my life was a life that was lived with purpose, wisely, not having children of her home. He grew up a huge family, not only united by blood, but also by sympathy, by good deeds. And we will remember her, oh God, until like last breath, or until we see her again with Jesus living in eternity. We are putting the family and friends also, God, in your hand, because we need consolation. We know that she is saved in the name of Jesus, but we need consolation because we are not prepared to let her go. We will sing about her. We will remember her. So we need your healing power, oh God, come to us to companion us in this grieving process. We are asking, oh God, also that your blessing hand and your healing power be with the rest of the family, especially with those who are now suffering illness or are in the hospital, oh God. As is in the case of Berta, be with her. We know that she would like to be here, but we can't. But we pray on her behalf, oh God. Heal her and give her a new opportunity, more life to achieve your name. Also, oh God, we are praying for the rest of the church, of our friends, and for those who are watching and will watch this program through the internet, social media, oh God. So your healing power will be with them, not only healing the body, but also the soul, the mind, because we need it, oh God. We are in this world, oh God, with so much suffering, but we can give us solace and also, oh God, a new reason to be alive and to praise your name. Forgive our sins, oh God, and let us start a new life with you in our sight until you come. because we are asking in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. No sé cuánto, I don't know how much time do we have right now. We are really ready to go. Are we ready to go? Okay. So please, you can go to your car or whatever. Oh no, you are going to be seated. So they are going to direct us what to do next.
Family and friends, as we prepare ourselves to go to the final destination of internment, we're going to ask if we can have gentlemen that is programmed for pallbearers, if you would please come to my right. And if we can have 3 lovely ladies or gentlemen that will come to my left, that will help us with the flowers. As we prepare to go to the cemetery, to the Highlands Memorial Cemetery, we're going to ask those of you that will be traveling along with us to the cemetery, upon exiting the church, that you would please go to your vehicles and turn your bright lights and emergency lights on. And we do have 2 transportation vehicles that are considered escort vehicles that would get us safely to the cemetery and through the procession of the lights. So at this time, if everyone would please stand except for the family. Pastor, we're ready to proceed out.
Es el momento de salir. Vamos a ir en procesión al cementerio. Deben encender las luces del carro y también los estacionarios del carro. Vamos al cementerio a Highland